Alright, we're almost there. Going to get some tires now. I told you guys, promised, I said, hey, I'm getting some tires. So even though it costs, you know, a pretty penny to get them, I guess we'll find out what I ordered today, because I really have no idea. Alright, you guys are gonna say goodbye to the 315s. Liam, I said 24. That's a, I think it's a 19. There we go. Alright, it's the last time we see these guys. Alright, so this is a brand new caliper, and this side's like really, really hard to turn. It takes a lot of effort compared to this side. Whereas like I can do this with one hand. Let me know what the problem is, because that's ridiculous. Also, my TPMS is beeping at me. Gotta get in real carefully, like, so we don't knock the truck over. So, we got two of our sensors up there. We'll just ignore that. Okay, so I want to mention to you guys, okay, so I have been getting so many actual personal messages, like Instagram, you know, I have the link below. I tell you guys, send me a message, do whatever. It's getting to the point where I'm getting enough of them that it actually does take me time to get to them. I used to be able to answer them immediately. No longer can do that. Sometimes a message will sit and wait for like a day. Sometimes two. It does take me some time, especially with everything going on. I just want to make mention of that. I definitely appreciate it, that enough people are, you know, messaging, commenting, do all that. But it's at the point, like I said, it does take me a little while to get to them. So it's just hard, a lot going on, super busy, and sorry about that, but that's basically it. So a decent amount. I mean, there's days I'll have like 15 some people just messages, and then when you answer those messages, they'll respond back, obviously. So now you have to have a conversation with like 15 people, and it's just like, it's really hard to do at times. So it's like, just be patient. That's all I ask. Here's your size difference. Look at that. We're going from a 34.4 to a 32.7. A little skinnier, but this is the tread style we went with. I actually still don't even know what these are. Adventuro AT3 GT radials, so that's what we're going with. And then we'll have covers for it next week. All right, so here's another 285 7017. Now, a lot of guys asked me what the benefit of doing a dually swap on a 2500 is. The truck only has a 9,000 GVWR, but if you combine all of the rating, you're essentially upping your payload capacity. You can't physically, you know, go over the 9,000, but your axle rating, you're never gonna go over it. Whereas this truck has a 6,000 axle rating. Most DOT officers only go off of the tire rating. So if you take 4 of these, this is 2910. If you take this times 4, this is 11,640 pound rear tire capacity. So essentially, you're never, for a combined wheel, or how do I put this? For a combination vehicle, it makes a huge difference, okay? And then, like, say I have a 17,000 pound trailer, right? 9,000 pound GVWR, that puts me at 26,000, and my rear axle capacity is 11,640 pounds. Obviously, I'm never going to do that. It's never going to happen. So basically, you're making it, 1, it's more stable. 2, you're never gonna go over the rating of what it is. So it's better for it, and it's easier to stay legal. Let's just put it that way. V-Belt and Son did a video on it as well. Most DOT officers go off of the tire rating. Very rarely does a DOT officer look at your, you know, your little sticker back here and say, oh, we're gonna go off of your actual axle rating. It's not. Most of them don't do it. Now, if you piss one off, you know, you might have a chance of him trying to go through some loopholes and legalities, but 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna have an issue with basically just like this. So dually swap is well worth it. Also, stable wise, I have gone over 6,000 pounds on my rear axle many a times this year. It is so hard to stay under 6,000 pounds. It's not going to happen. The dually, if you're pulling anything over a 32-foot trailer or 32-foot or bigger, you absolutely want the dually. I'm telling you, like half tons, 3/4 tons, even 1 ton single wheels, it is really hard to stay under. So just do yourself a favor and get a dually. I should have done that initially. The 2500 with a dually swap is like the best option if you're doing power only, but once you step into the trailer world, it's just best to have a regular 1 ton. So that's how I see it. If you're staying non-CDL with doing power only, 3/4 ton with a dually swap is the way to go. But you could always get your CDL and just run, you know, like the big boys. So we're gonna do that eventually, just not right now. So might get a 5500 at some point, but we'll see. They look so stock, but they're not. Like, there's a gap, pretty big gap with the spacer. You have to run a spacer or they will touch. It's like, that's a pretty decent gap. I don't know, it reminds me of them semi wheels everybody's running. So we got one more side to do. 2 85 7017s. Like I said, these are a Adventuro AT. So we have an all-terrain instead of a MT. And I think they said it was about 1,500 bucks, but I gotta verify that. I haven't paid the bill yet, so I'm gonna do that. This truck has cost, oof, as you guys saw from last video, we're into this thing, $3,500 this month. This is the most I have thrown at this truck in a long time. Oof, it didn't cost me that much to swap the engine. All right, so we got the new tires. They look like stock tires, but they're really not. They're, you know, pretty decent. Hopefully we get some mileage out of these. Now, got an ECU from an 03. Justin was so kind to say, hey, you can, you know, use this real quick and then we'll find out if mine works. Okay, so mine's grounded. I have a big ground to it, so there's no issues there. And then the 2 plugs on the other side. So I'm gonna undo the ground, undo the plugs, and then plug in this one and see if it'll start. And we'll go from there. Well, that's unfortunate. We tried his and yeah, it doesn't communicate right. It's not doing what it's supposed to. AC still won't kick on with or without the ECU. I'm pretty much at a loss at this point. I have no idea what to do. So somebody sent me a video of Scotty Kilmer. He, I guess, put a switch, or basically replaced the thermistor with a temperature controlled switch, put that in, I think it's the evaporator, yeah, in the cab, do that, and then basically just run it to power and run it to the AC compressor, and then it'll do what it needs to do, I guess. But I don't know, at this point I'm kind of lost. But I'm gonna put my ECU back in and we'll go from there. Well, that's it, she's all back together. I'm closing her up now. Nothing I can really do. I'm gonna go in there and ask how much they charge me. Stupid bees. There we go. I'm gonna ask them how much they're gonna charge me to get that bumper painted. Let's see if they'll do it. All right, so we're sitting at Air Gas here, waiting to pick up some oxygen acetylene bottles. And I'm going through the comments on the last video, and I just have to laugh because there's a lot of people that really don't understand how things work. And it's just like, it's kind of funny reading some of these comments. If you're coming, I've mentioned this before, if you're coming to my channel complaining that someone's working on their truck or they're using their equipment and you're complaining about that, thank you for contributing to my YouTube check every single month. If you are that person that will just complain about something stupid, like, the whole point of the content is that we work on our stuff and we use our stuff. Simple as that. This is to show that any average Joe can do this, okay? Obviously with a little bit of mechanical background and whatnot, you know, learn how to do this stuff. But it's like, it's the whole point. The whole point of a title, you know, hey, my truck cost me $3,500 this month. Yeah, it did. This is the first time ever that it's done that, and it made me $10,360 the week before. So, I mean, I don't understand it, but I mean, it's kind of funny. Trying to keep everything positive for the people, you know, help out everybody and go through all of that other stuff. Basically, someone needs help. The goal is to be able to help them, keep it positive. Yeah, so that's basically my point there. We did also, on top of getting new tires, I finally got a ball joint puller. I got a vise, Milwaukee soldering iron, and M12 ratchet. So there goes another 600 bucks, but not a big deal. I know you guys complain about, you know, Mac, you know, and all the tool guys. Yes, they're a little overpriced and all that, but it's not a big deal. It really isn't. You know, you pay a little bit extra. It is what it is, you know? You just, sometimes that's the cost of business. especially if you can make payments on stuff. I think I got my bill down to like $200, and then I just racked it back up to $600 or $800. So I told him, just here's $200 a week. Let me get it paid off by the end of the month. Not a big deal. I could pay it off now, but it's like, let me make a little bit of money first, you know, after this week. That's basically it. I don't understand. You can't make everybody happy on the internet. I don't understand it. But at the same time, I can assume you don't. If anybody that makes a dumb comment, like, you can give advice, but anybody that says, oh, you're stupid because of this, those are the people I assume just don't have jobs and they're still living with their parents. That's just what I assume, because nobody does that. We talk to people like they're human beings. It's, you know, but I don't mention it a lot, but I'm gonna mention it here. So let's get back to the rest. I want to try out this vise, honestly. All right, absolutely loving these new tires. Holy, like, this thing is so quiet compared to what it was with the MTs. And actually, I found that a lot of my noises that were happening are gone. Like, I let off the throttle and coast this thing in neutral, or in gear, and it's so quiet. Listen to this thing. And then when I coast, it's almost like it's a Prius. I thought it stalled a few times. Like, that's how quiet it is. It's like, wow. So yeah, I think we're good to go on Monday. The only thing, so I was watching, somebody sent me a Scotty Kilmer video where you can actually bypass the ECU and the whole system. I guess Napa sells temperature controlled switches, like, you know, in place of the factory one. So I can actually use that to wire in AC, have it done correctly, make it look good, and we'll bypass the ECU. My end goal was to get rid of the ECU for pretty much everything anyway, and these 04.5 trucks actually had issues with the lines freezing up from the factory. And the reason they were freezing up was because of where they were putting them. So I'm gonna try and see if we can't get a better design going, have it done correctly, and that'll be pretty much that, because I want the 12 valve swap to be perfect, and I don't want to really rely on the ECU for anything. We're at the point where the only thing we're relying on the ECU for is the charging bolts. That's about it. And I know 2 people now that have had the AC stop working literally just because of the ECU. So gonna go buy that switch. Probably won't do that in this video because I'm tired of working on things. I want to go home, you know, spend some time with everybody and go from there. We got plenty of house projects to do. Taking the family out to dinner tonight, taking them out tomorrow, because why not? We're back on top. That's just basically how it is, you know? Back on top, we're remaining positive. The more people that talk in the comments negatively, you know, the better you're doing. It's just simple as that. I mean, hell, Benny's got how many hate comments in his videos, and it's just like, that dude's doing good. I don't care what anybody says. Let's keep the positivity rolling, and let's go fix some stuff. Let's go work on things how it was intended. Which I do need to mention, for the guys saying go buy a new truck is $2,000 a month, okay? And the reason you're gonna do that is because you're gonna wanna make double payments. On a used truck, this doesn't cost me near that much every month to run it. This was a month, I needed tires, okay? So if you get rid of the tires, it cost me $2 grand this month. Not to mention I get better fuel economy than with a new truck. So this dude in front of me's got some rocks. So this will be the first time we get to ride these tires on the highway. They're damn quiet. They are damn quiet. That is awesome. I don't think I'm ever getting a set of mud tires again. So that is pretty much gonna do it. We got new tires today. We figured out a little bit more with the AC. Had Liam out all day rather than, you know, being cooped up in the house and whatnot. So we're gonna go out to eat. Hope you guys enjoyed. Moral of the story, guys, keep it positive in the comments. If you guys are just here to throw negativity around or any of that stuff, I mean, I might as well block those people at this point because they really don't matter, and trying to keep it positive. That's basically what everything needs to be. As many times as you can go behind, you can always turn around and make it positive. So it doesn't matter. We're obviously doing something well, doing something right. We're getting there, okay? Things are looking up. It's only money. We make it every day. Get over it. If you don't like seeing people work on their stuff, this ain't the channel for you, because that's all we're gonna be doing. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Have a good one.